Hello everyone, welcome back to the P-Security channel. After a few days now, I've got enough time to complete a video, so I will be making a review of the brand new ESET Smart Security version 7. I had tested the beta, but this is their final version, and they have made some improvements to their memory scanning module, which is their advanced memory scanner. They have a new vulnerability shield and a few more features which we'll be taking a look at. So as you can see, it just updated. So I'll open up their new user interface. They've changed their basic icon, but the basic layout of their interface is still the same. They have all your tabs on the left hand side and the details on the right hand side, which is a pretty neat display. I have no problems with this. It works great. It's great for novice as well as advanced users because you can get pretty much all the important things at your fingertips. But if you're like someone like me who likes to view all the settings, you do have the option to go in much deeper. So no complaints with respect to their basic user interface. And I will show you once again that this thing is fully up to date. There you go, you can see it is. Now let's just take a look at their advanced settings because we're already familiar with these basic user interface things. Now one complaint that I do have about one of their modules is this thing, which shows you basically all the process they're running on your system. It's kind of like the equivalent of an advanced task manager, and it shows you the risk. And that's what I like. It analyzes them in the cloud with ESET LiveGrid, and it gives you the risk factor, the number of users that have used it, and some more details. Now what I do not like is it doesn't really give you any control. It just gives you like you can view everything, but there's really nothing you can do from here. So even if, let's say, I find out that this program's risk level is unknown, let's say I haven't seen this before, so I might want to remove it. So there's nothing I can do. I'm right-clicking furiously right now, but nothing's happening. So there are no user customizable options over here. So basically you just can view it over here, and if you want to terminate it, you basically have to use your task manager. However, I would like ESET to integrate like more advanced removal utility over here, so that when I want to remove a process like a malware process, I could just like terminate it with something which would be more effective than the traditional end process by Windows. So a lot of other programs have that, like Komodo Kill Switch. MCSoft also has something of that sort, so it would be great if ESET would also bring in something like that over here. Apart from that, let's just take a look at their advanced setup. And there we'll find a lot of settings, and we will customize this. I've done a lot of tests with ESET on factory settings, so this time I will just be taking the security a little bit to the next step by enabling detection of potentially unsafe applications, because you're getting so much adware these days, so you don't want to leave any of these off. Then we'll go into the real-time file protection settings, and we will set up PretSense. Now, I won't change anything over here in objects, but in options I will enable their advanced heuristics, or DNA, or smart signatures, whatever you like to call it. And I will change the pre-cleaning to strict cleaning so that you don't get anything left over. And the rest of the settings, I'll just leave them in stock. I won't mess with any of the other settings, but I'll just wrap up the heuristics, and just that's it basically. And just make the cleaning a little bit more strict. So on-demand computer scan, I will not mess with this or anything like this because I won't be using them much in this test. And another module that is very, confusing in ESET Smart Security is their host intrusion prevention system. Now, it is enabled by default. It has something called self-defense, which is probably to protect ESET from being disabled by other forms of malware or fake antivirus, something like that. And here they have a new thing called the Advanced Memory Scanner, which is kind of like a behavior shield. So you can go into the details if you go into ESET's website, but I will not go in there right now. You can check this out, Advanced Memory Scanner. They have something called Exploit Blocker, so it works on Java and all those kinds of exploits that come in from the web. So it's good to see these two new modules. And the filtering mode by default is automatic mode with rules, which means it first checks the rules, and then if there are no specific rules for the application, it just allows it. And the only rule that is visible to the users is just to allow registry access. So there are no rules over here for blocking malware. However, ESET told me once that they had some rules that are hidden over here, so I'm not sure how this thing works exactly. But anyway, I'll just leave it the way it is. And again, the point to be noted is that this is the only usable setting over here, because if you set it to interactive mode, you'll get alerts for everything, even alerts for like opening up Internet Explorer, even for copying a file, so you'll get alerts for every single small task that is carried out on your machine. So it's more like a lockdown mode or something like that. When you're heavily infected, it's not meant to be used by everyday users on an everyday basis. And neither of these modes are usable apart from learning mode, which just allows everything and learns the behavior of applications. And then you could probably change one of these settings, but I mean, from what I've seen, this is the only way you're going to run it. I haven't seen anyone running it in any other mode yet. And then they do have something called a gamer mode, which is nice, so you don't get disturbed while playing your games. And they do have an intrusion detection system in their firewall, which is nice to see. So they've got a whole lot of features, as you can see, and they've got something called your anti-theft, which is supposed to prevent your laptop from being stolen in case you're using it on a laptop. I haven't used this because obviously we won't be testing that out in this video. So there you go, that's the basic user interface. Now let's see what kind of memory requirement ESET has. As always, I think we're going to see pretty high memory usage, and I was right. There you go. About, well, it's pretty high right now, about 99, maybe 100 megabytes. But I've seen this go down like 70 or 60 sometimes, but it stays a little bit high on the memory. But one good thing about ESET is it's very stable, and it does not slow down your computer. If you're like doing everyday usage, you won't notice much of slowdown with ESET, to be honest, because memory usage isn't everything. It doesn't use that many CPU cycles, and overall performance is pretty light. So I wouldn't complain about the high memory usage that much, because when it comes to daily usage, anybody who has used ESET will probably know that it is quite light. So now I'm going to proceed to the testing part. In this part, what we'll be doing is we'll be running like 12 malware links and seeing how ESET reacts to the zero-day malware. We have some pretty new malware links over here, and we'll just try them out and see what happens. So here's the first link. Let's see how ESET performs. As you saw, the first link was successfully executed. No response from ESET. The second link was blocked, however, by the Web Shield. So was the third one. Now, fourth one was able to get past the Web Shield, but I'm not sure if they'll be able to run. May not even download, in fact. So let's see if the first link that we tried that was able to get into memory actually did anything. I don't see much running around. It's really hard to tell right now if it's doing something. I don't see any specific malware process, so we'll just leave it to our secondary scanners later on. So it looks like this one might be dead. So we'll just cancel this and try the next link. This seems to be working quite well. And there we go. We get a warning saying this is a potentially unwanted application, so it's probably a piece of adware, so I'll just disconnect. And that should get rid of this file. This is again potentially unwanted software, so reset with their new signatures, they seem to be pretty aggressive in blocking adware, which is good for most users. And this one's also blocked. This is also potentially unwanted content. Adware, most likely. Now this page just seems to be dead. Let's try out this page. This one's also blocked. Potentially dangerous content. This one's also blocked. Okay, let's check out the jar file. Maybe we'll get to test the exploit blocking here. And this one's caught as a Trojan downloader. So it did download, got past the web blocking, but their signatures caught it and connection was terminated. Good. You don't want this crap on your computer. So now we'll just try out the last link, which is probably some other form of malware. And it has been blocked as well. Blocked based on its IP address. So as we can see, ESA did a pretty good job on the web blocking part. Now the only link that I found, okay, here's something else. And it says it wants to reboot to complete the cleaning. I'm really not agreeing with ESA on this thing. I don't think a reboot is necessary right now because the file was blocked and basically didn't even download. So maybe the temp file just got stored. So anyway, I won't reboot right now, but I will in due course of time. But for now, it looks like this computer is clean. However, we did see one file that ran. That was the first one. I think it was called calc.exe, and it's not over here. So what I'll do is I'll just do a quick scan with Hitman Pro, and I'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. I just completed a scan with Hitman Pro. As we all know, it's a second opinion scanner. So it found just one file. That's this calc1.exe. That's a heuristic. It's caught by the Kaspersky signature as heuristic Trojan Win32 generic or whatever. But the interesting thing is this is not really an infection. It's just a file in the temp files, and I hope we can see here. It's not really present in the system. There you go. You can see that this is present in temporary internet files, so it's not really an infection. It hasn't made it through to the system. And what really tells us a good thing about ESET over here is that this file was not cut by its signature, so the temp file is still sitting over here. But the great thing that I've noticed is that ESET was probably able to block it, because we do not see any other place where this file is present, suggesting that it only is present at the temporary internet file. If it's somewhere else, Hitman Pro should have caught it. So that means this file was not caught by the signatures, but due to some background blocking, maybe their advanced memory module or their intrusion detection system or whatever. I mean their host intrusion prevention system, of course. Their zero-day modules prevented this file from causing any kind of system damage, which is really good to see. So we will be doing a scan with Malwarebytes, and we'll keep this file in mind. So if we find any more occurrences of this file, maybe I'll change my verdict, but I'm really happy to see that ESET did some zero-day blocking behind the scenes over here, because this file did run, but it hasn't infected the system at all. So right now I'll just reboot to clean out the temp files, and then we will proceed to the second part of the test, where we'll be doing an offline test with some files, and we'll check out ESET's signature detection. So just hold on a second. So here we are with a folder of malware. This contains 500, I believe, yes, 500 pieces of infected files, and they're all potentially dangerous malware. So let's see if ESET can prevent these files from getting into the system. We have it temporarily disabled just so that we could bring the files over here. So now I haven't run any of these files, so the system is still clean. However, we have these files present over here. So let's see if ESET can take care of them. So I'll just do a scan and clean with ESET. And as you can see, it's a pretty fast scan and removal process. And I'll let ESET do its job, and I'll be right back when the scan's complete. We're nearing the completion of the scan. It's quite quick, so I'm happy with that. And our expected detection rate will be quite high, because this malware is a little bit old. I think it's a couple of days old, so we are expecting a really good detection rate. So now we've got a lot of items over here that ESET hasn't dealt with. So, well, we'll just select all, and we will delete. Okay, I'm not great at this. So we'll select all and set action to delete. There you go. So we'll delete all these pieces of malware, and hopefully it'll be completed. Yeah. So ESET's taken care of everything. Let's just close it and do a scan once again just to be sure. And there you go. It's found some other stuff, potential unwanted programs. So we'll just clean those as well. Delete it. I want this stuff off of my hard drive. So just for the sake of it, I'll do another scan, and now it comes up clean. So let's see what ESET has missed. So we have 31 items, and at the beginning we had, I believe, 500. So that's a detection of 93.8%, which is pretty good. It's not bad, but considering these are like a couple of days old, it's not very impressive. I mean, it's okay, but it's not one of the best yet. So pretty good detection rate there, but now comes the interesting part. We'll just re-enable ESET. So the shields are back on. We've got all our zero-day components enabled. So now we'll just try to run these files and see if ESET can prevent the files that are not in its signatures from infecting the system. We did see it do that with one file. Let's see if it can deal with these files as well. So we'll just be running some of these files. Most of them will probably not work, because some of them may be dependent on the other files that have already been removed. We've got a nice Apple logo here, and this one seems to be running. That's funny. Apple would never engineer malware. Okay, something really interesting just happened, in case you've not noticed. Our taskbar has just become invisible. Well, that's something I totally wanted. So looks like the malware is doing some serious damage over here. Cannot see my taskbar, no desktop icons, and no ESET either. Can't see the taskbar, can't see ESET. So we have some serious loopholes in their what do you call it, HIPS module. It's just not doing so well as usual. I mean, I've seen these problems in the past with DSET, and I think they still haven't got a solution to this. And as you can see, I think the Apple malware, whatever, has just taken over my system. So I think that's enough. Now I'll just try to get some control back. As you can see, we've got a couple of files running over here. Have we got something else? Well, not much really over here, but well, the damage has been done, and nobody would be very happy to see this site just after paying for an antivirus product. Like, I don't know what their price is, but after paying for some premium protection, you don't want to see this site ever. So I'll just reboot the system and just hope that I'm able to use Windows Explorer to do my scans. So I'll just reboot, and let's now see the extent of the damage. I just rebooted the system, and what a pleasant surprise. Looks like we're back. The taskbar's here, ESET's here again, and well, it just seems to be like doesn't seem to be infected at all. Looks like the system just came back without a scratch. Of course, we've got some process in here, but I mean, the serious damage that I was just seeing like a moment ago is just entirely gone, and I can just use my computer fine. The taskbar is visible, my icons are here, I can do my scans. So the damage got rolled back somewhat with the reboot. Maybe the program, when it started, it did this, but ESET didn't allow it to start up automatically or whatever. I have no idea about the things happening in the background because nobody's telling me anything. But still then, we won't judge anything by our eyes or looks, because remember, when it comes to malware, looks can be deceiving. So we will rely on our scanners. I will do a scan with Malwarebytes and Hitman Pro, and that is the final thing that we will use to develop our verdict and estimate the total amount of damage done to the system. So I'll be right back with the two results from both the scanners. So it's time for the final verdict, and both our scanners have finished, so let's see what they have to say. First of all, let's take a look at Malwarebytes. Now this is something that does not make me happy. We've got a Trojan agent that has infiltrated the system and has created a fake svchost.exe file. So it might be running around and you might be thinking, oh well, that's fine, svchost, it's a Windows process. But no, this is a piece of malware, and it's probably hiding itself over here somewhere, and it's really hard to notice, I guess. Yeah, I think it's this one. So it's not good to, I mean, I'm not at all happy to see this. I mean, this is just a registry key modification again. It's probably going to run at startup, and that's not going to help you a lot. And now let's take a look at Hitman Pro. So it's got another file. This is something different. Let's take a look at some of the details maybe. And this is present in app data, so I'm not really sure about this. Maybe it's some kind of adware, most likely. So I'm not really too concerned about this, but this thing doesn't please me at all, because this was probably the thing that shut down the taskbar and everything, and now that it's in the system, well, we might be happy it's not doing anything, but you know, in the future it might be spying on us, it might steal our data, it might do things that we never have imagined. But all in all, about the verdict, I am pretty much satisfied with the way ESET came up this time. We certainly did see some background blocking. I mean, all the malware that I ran did not make it through the system, just got a couple of like infections. Unfortunately, this is a pretty major infection, but apart from that, it did do pretty good, considering that I did not have to answer a single alert in the entire process. So for everyday users, novice users, even intermediate users that are not that much concerned. I mean, everybody's concerned about security, but if you're not like that much of a security geek, you're not paranoid, this might be a pretty good choice for you because it's pretty quiet, runs in the background, very stable, doesn't give you much trouble. But at the same time, if you're someone like me who's a little bit who needs a little bit higher level of security, or you're like someone who wants to be covered all the time, you do important work on your computer, and you just cannot afford to have even the smallest of compromises in terms of security, then this is probably not the right product for you. So take your time, think about it. If you're like, as I said, if you're an intermediate user or a novice user who just wants something that just runs in the background, it does the job, it doesn't ask you too many questions, well, at least it might well be worth your money. But as I said, I'm not very happy with these two intrusions that I'm seeing over here. But I'm really happy to see that their zero-day components are finally functional. I mean, they did something, and that's a big thing, because last time I tested them, I think it just let everything through that was not in its signatures. So they are constantly improving, and they're working on their technology a lot. And the great thing is this product is really stable. It doesn't crash, it doesn't give you any kind of errors or something, and it's really easy to use for a novice user. So take your time and make your choice. This definitely not my most highly recommended product for like advanced users, but as I said, if you do not want alerts, at the same time you want a pretty good level of security, this pretty much does the job for you, because this is an unpatched system, and we just ran a lot of malware. In real life you'll probably never encounter such a situation, so it is going to protect you pretty decently. So here's the twist in the tail from my side. This product is quite expensive. You have to buy it. It's smart security, so you have to pay for all the extra features like your anti-theft. But since you guys are loyal PC Security channel subscribers, we have a great deal for you. You can get this entire thing for free. So if you're like an intermediate user, or just a novice user, or you want to install an antivirus that does the job on, let's say, your parents' PC or your grandparents' PC. Of course, smart security is a good thing for you, and if you're using your notebook a lot and you like to travel, then you might as well want to check out their anti-theft feature. So I'll be doing a giveaway again for ESET Smart Security 7. So all you have to do to win a full 1-year license of this product is just write down a small poem, a lyric, song, whatever you want about ESET in the comments below, and the best 20 entries will win licenses to Smart Security 7. The best 10 will win licenses to Smart Security 7, and the next 10 will win full 1-year licenses to Knot 32. So you will be getting the entire paid product for free, along with their support and everything. So, well, if you like this product, definitely participate in the giveaway. That could save you some money, and you have a chance to win this entire suite for free. So hope you guys enjoyed this review. Thanks for watching. Thanks a lot to ESET for providing me support for doing this review, as well as their global digital PR for helping me conduct this giveaway by giving me 20 licenses. So big thanks to ESET. I really hope they work on their weaknesses and go forward to become like one of the major security companies as they used to be. They're still one of the major ones, but I'm afraid to say they aren't really the best right now. So I'd hope they'd work on some of their weaknesses, like as we saw their 0-day, and hopefully in the near future we'll see even better products from their side. But for now, it does a decent job. If you want it, you can participate in the giveaway. Have a nice day, and stay tuned for more giveaways and videos as usual. So for now, goodbye from the PC Security channel. Have a nice day.